Hello, hello, and welcome to Spirits, Mediums, and Things That Go Bump in the Night. And I'm Gloria Warner, depending on who knows me.
Hi, you know who I am.
This is Toni.
Hi.
Sipka. Anyways,
So
how was your holidays?
My holidays were great.
Yeah?
I did nothing.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing. Nothing. I turned my phone off. I had my tree up. I had my hula hoops outside my house on the fence because I like perfect circles. And I was in heaven. Dogs and I just, did our thing, and that was it. So how was your vacation?
My vacation was great.
You and Chris went away. You went to see your daughter.
I went to see my daughter and my grandchildren, and Chris went to take care of his mom.
Yep.
In
New Jersey.
In New Jersey, which was really great because then it was he and his mom for the whole vacation, and it was me and my daughter and my grandkids.
Well, now, you know what? A topic has been brought up to talk about. I mean, we know you just got married.
Yes.
To Chris.
Yes.
And you've been together for like a good 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Being a girlfriend or being a boyfriend to a medium and then being a husband to a medium, what kind of toll does that take on a relationship?
Well, my past marriages and divorces should tell you a little bit about that.
But you're older now, and your daughter has children.
Well, let's forget about the older part and just talk about it's a bummer on a marriage. It really is. It's a bummer on a relationship because you pick up everything. The only problem is if you're empathic, you pick up sometimes not anything having to do with the person that you're with. Like Chris likes to talk about that. He'll look at my face and he'll go, "What are you in your head for? What are you thinking about now? What are you feeling now?" And then so I'll say, and he'll say, "It's not me. Could be somebody just walked through the restaurant, was having a bad day, and you just picked it up." It is not easy, but I'm not the only one that does this. There's a lot of people out there that are empathic, that pick up stuff, and create a whole lot of problems in their marriages or their relationships because of what they're picking up that might not have anything to do with the person they're with.
Okay, just to be a devil's advocate here, all right?
Yeah.
What if that person is overly sensitive? Does that still tune in to being the empathic?
You mean like me? I mean like me being overly sensitive?
No, I mean
Or the person that's empathic being overly sensitive, is that what you mean? Or who are you talking? Who's the person you're talking about?
I'm talking about, so that can be confusing. But I would say probably a person who doesn't know they have that gift.
Got it.
Okay. And people always say to them they're oversensitive.
Gotcha. Okay. And that happens.
Okay.
And then it's hell for the person. And overly sensitive, I hate that because I've had that addressed to me. You're too sensitive. Let it go. If I could let it go, I would.
Okay.
I would. Tell me what the rules are. Show me how to let it go. And so here are these people, and I'm a medium. Okay. So what does a person do when they're picking up these thoughts or these feelings? First thing is there a basis for why they're picking up those feelings?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a person of patterns. There are patterns. People establish patterns.
Yes.
And as soon as the pattern is broken, especially for women are highly intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
They're very highly intuitive. And when a pattern is broken, a woman will pick it up. She'll see that there's something different. For instance, the guy never cares about, or the person they're in, never cares about their underclothes. Now, all of a sudden, you know, they could wear ratty underwears, you know, with the holes, and all of a sudden now they're talking about getting new underwear. Okay, going out and buying all sorts of new underwear, all of a sudden being, you know, looking at themselves in the mirror, you know, blah, blah. And that's a pattern, you know, that now has been broken. Does that make any sense?
It does make sense.
And it's not just about like all of a sudden they're thinking, oh, I'm getting older and I need to look better. A pattern has been broken that's picked up. And whether the medium or whatever will pick up on that. You know, it's like they may store it here so that way when another pattern in the relationship is broken, now they're going to start putting two and two together. Like, for instance, all of a sudden the person gets a cell phone. You know, they didn't care about doing texting and all that stuff. All of a sudden now they're doing texting and not telling the person that they're with, okay, who they're texting to. Oh, who's that? Oh, nobody, just friend. A pattern has been broken. You look confused.
That would drive me nuts.
No kidding.
That would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Because from my point of view, thank God they're getting new underwear. Thank God they're finally taking pride in themselves. Okay, this is how I'm going to look at it. Finally, they came up to technology, and they don't have a flip phone anymore, and they got a cell phone. And
yeah, but the thing is, if you, I don't know where I read it, but you know what? It's a truth. Men are simple. Not that they're stupid. They're not stupid. They're highly, highly intelligent. But they're very simple. Their needs are very simple.
So you're telling me men have more of a pattern than women?
Absolutely.
So if a man would break that pattern,
something's up.
Something's up.
Whether they're going through, you know, maybe fear. Did you hear that?
I heard that. Okay. Okay, so if a man would change his normal MO, his pattern.
Oh, yeah. You can't tell me that the partner they're with, their spouse isn't noticing that. First thing they'll say is, are we all right?
But isn't that insecurity with the relationship?
No, not really.
Okay, explain that to me.
It's like when you get the person being who they are for 10, 15 years, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, they start changing their pattern about doing things. Okay, it's going to be picked up.
Well, I agree with that. It's going to be picked up. You are going to wonder why all of a sudden.
Why?
Yes, yeah.
Why? Okay,
yeah.
So, but what happens is, what if, though, the guy's really innocent?
Yeah.
Okay, the guy is really, really innocent. Right. And the only thing is, it's like you said, all of a sudden, he's just wanting to make changes. You know, maybe in his life, maybe he's watching TVs or whatever, I don't know. But it's hell for this person that he's with because that person is picking up, feeling there's something different, there's a change here. They may be picking up on the idea that the guy just wants to change. He may be totally in love with his partner. And yeah. So what does she do? You know, when she's picking up on these things, what does she do?
She asks him.
Right. Is everything all right? You know, if she is that close to him or she feels comfortable enough to ask, Or does she go within herself and then it becomes hell? I've been there. I've done that.
Yeah.
You know, and you are, and if you're empathic at all to any degree, especially now with the shifts that are taking place in the earth, you know, this energy and stuff, if you're picking up on that energy, you don't know what's going on. So how does somebody who is picking up on these patterns, could be not even about the spouse, it could be about going to work and all of a sudden things are changing at work.
All right, yeah.
Okay, so they're feeling, oh my God, I'm going to be fired, I'm going to be dumped, or you know, something bad is taking place or whatever. So the question is, how does that person who's empathic know if it's really about her, or are they picking up?
But wouldn't you just ask him? Wouldn't you just say to...
Women aren't like that.
Wouldn't you
You would.
Well, yeah. But wouldn't you just say, honey, what's with all the change?
Oh, no, I'm talking about like at work.
Yeah.
I'm talking about work.
Yeah.
Well, no, for a woman at home picking this up, the last thing she'd probably want to do is to come right out. I would. I'd just say, anything up? What's happening? Well, what do you mean? Well, I'm seeing this and this. Oh, you're crazy. No, I'm not crazy. ask the first two husbands.
Jesus Christ.
Because you pick up.
Yes.
And then you find out afterwards your feelings were right. Okay, but I'm talking about the person, like if they go to work and they pick up. What if they're picking up on what's really going on with the boss and what's going on with the business? Yeah. What if they're picking up the person in the next cubicle? How do they protect themselves from picking up all the sort of riffraff? If it's about them, it's one thing. But if they're picking up everything else, right. What do you do? What do you do, right? What would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah, what would you do?
Well, the core part of that for me is my spouse, I would just point blank sit down and say, you know, you've made these changes. Is there anything going on? Can I help you? What's, you know. And if I found an answer that I was content with, I would forget about all the other stuff. Because it's a waste of my energy.
See, that's why I call you up in the middle of the night sometime and say, oh. Toni, what's going on? Help me.
But the core of that is if you're married and you see this, and of course, I mean, which women, anybody, not just women, men too, will kind of reflect on themselves and say, oh my God, is it me? What's wrong?
You know, the reality though, is when a person is picking up, there's something off.
Yeah.
They may not even see a difference in a pattern, but they feel the difference.
But
I'm not talking about just like a spur of the moment thing. I'm talking about this is a constant. They're feeling like something is, because they're not feeling that energy. When the heart is closed off, let's say the partner has a mental dalliance with somebody else. Mental dalliance. You like that?
I like that word.
Mental. Anyways, when that person has a mental dalliance, that it'll continue in their head for a while. It's just, men seem to do that a lot.
Oh God, Steve's back there and he's, I'm surprised he hasn't said a word.
I know it. But anyways, okay. Okay, so there's this mental dalliance going on. Mm-hmm. The woman knows that this is taking place because she does not feel the total heart open. There is a cutoff. There is a valve that cuts off. She feels it.
Okay, but maybe it's not the man. Maybe the woman is bored.
You mean she wants to create problems because everything is going well?
Yes.
No, that's not the way that it is. No, no, no. You really do feel that energy.
Yeah.
Like if even just friends,
Yeah.
you can tell when there is a pulling back.
Yes, you can by actions and body language.
Right, but more so by energy. It's all energy.
Yeah, I know.
It is all energy. And when the energy is cut off or blocked, the person that usually felt or basked, I like that too, they basked in that energy.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they're not basking anymore.
Well, that could be a change of growth. That could be a change. You know, the old saying is some people come into your life for a lifetime and some come for a moment.
Right.
That could be a moment, friend.
What are we?
Oh, God, lifetime. See, right then and there. That's an answer you should have known. What are we?
I know, but it's the sort of thing where, yeah, but sometimes you need to hear it.
True, you do need to hear it,
You do need to hear it.
But to go and manipulate someone to say something because you need to hear it is not the gratification you're going to get because you know you manipulated it. It's got to come natural.
Yeah, but what if the person doesn't realize they're not saying it and they should? Well, you know, I had a client that came to me. It was going to be her 50th wedding anniversary with this Yahoo. Okay.
Yeah.
The Yahoo was dead. And so he was the type of person who the wife would spend a lot of time making him a really nice meal.
Even though he was dead?
Before he died.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so he would sit down at the table, she would put it at the table, he'd eat it. And then he'd get up and go. And she'd say, well, honey, do you like the meal? I ate it, didn't I? Okay, so I'm getting all of these past pictures that I'm past, you know, that I'm saying this to this, oh, yes, that's what he used to do. And so here I am getting this. And in my head, because my father was a lot like that. Mm-hmm. And so I'm saying to him in my head, you're a real jerk. You know, so he and I are having this conversation. I'm trying to pass on this, yes, this is the type of person that he was. And I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that she was there because she needed to hear, I love you. But every time I got to this guy, well, don't you have something to tell her? Nope. Don't you have something to tell her? Nope. I brought through his name. I brought through his death date. I brought through how he died. I brought through all of this. And she's, yes, she agreed. After the session was done, we're walking, and I still hadn't heard the words, so I couldn't speak the words to her. And just as she was getting to the door, she's dabbing her eyes, and she said, you know, it would have been our 50th wedding anniversary. And I came here because I thought for the first time in my whole life with him, I would hear the words. And I'm hearing Yahoo say, just tell her I'm here, aren't I? And if I was standing in front of him, I think I would have hit him. I'd have popped him a good one, okay? Because anyways, so she's going to the door and he's saying, just tell her. And I'm going, no, in my head, you needed to tell her. Why didn't you tell her? Why do you get, now I'm the one that has to do the dirty work for you, bud? You know, so she's opening the door and he's just about screaming in my head. He says, just tell her. Finally, she's going for the door and I say, stop. I says, there's one more thing. And she turns around, her eyes all, and I'm thinking, I'm going to back up a little bit, because if I tell her what I'm going to tell her, she's going to pop me in the eye. And so I backed up a little bit, and I said, well, he's got one more message that he wants to tell you. And she goes, yes. And I go, he wants me to tell you, I'm here, aren't I? And I really thought she was going to swing, and I kind of backed out. And she starts laughing. She was bent over laughing. She said, I came here to hear him tell me, because even when he asked me to marry him, he never told me I love you. What he used to tell me was, I'm here, aren't I? And so I got used to hearing, I'm here, aren't I? And so if you had told me anything else, yeah, I would have loved it. But that was the way that he told me that he loved me. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. This woman for 50 years begged this man, begged him. Is that manipulation? Do you love me? And all he'd respond with was, I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah, there are relationships like that.
Well, you know,
that made her happy.
What made her happy was that I responded the same way she did. So does that mean she was abused, mentally, emotionally abused? In a way, yeah, because it was manipulation on his part to withhold from her what she most needed to hear to make her happy.
But there are people that will do that because they know you want to hear it. And they're never going to tell you.
That's manipulation.
But that's manipulation on their part. But if you are that person, the woman, and you want to hear that so bad, you know, it's the old saying, actions speak louder than words.
That's a logical way of thinking.
Okay.
Okay, that's logic. That's
okay.
People are finding out, you know, like in the old days, you know, when you were younger.
Continue.
I can say that because I'm older than you are. But anyways, you know, it's like in the old days, they never said, I love you.
No, they didn't.
They never, ever did. And they're finding out that all these baby boomers are like craving to hear the words. You know, I love you. How does it hurt somebody, or how does it weaken their position by telling somebody that I love you? Do you know how many people that I've had to bring through from the other side? And one of the things that they talk about is how they so regret not saying the words that they should have used. That they carry this over to the other side, and then they try to tell the spouse that's still here, and they'll come to see, I know he has something to tell me, and I'm hearing it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't say the words that I should have used. You know, it's like, and so you feel these things, those emotions, those relationships, when it would have taken nothing out of this jerk's mouth to say, I love you. Why does it have to take having to die before you do something to be able to help somebody else out? It's like, I still feel it.
There are some people who say, I love you too much. There are some people who never say it but show it. Male or female?
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you. But I'm talking about the one that never says. Yeah, there's the ones, you know, it's like, oh, I love you, and then they treat them like dirt.
Right.
You know, those are the actions speak louder than words type of thing. Or the person that beats up his wife, or the wife beats up the husband. I've seen that too. And the first thing they do is, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Oh, you didn't mean to raise your hand and pop them in the eye? You know, it's like, personally, somebody ever did that to me, they have to go to sleep. So make it good.
Boy.
That solves a lot of problems if you start out a marriage that way. Yeah, if you're ever going to hit me, make it good the first time, because it'll be the last time. Because once I get up, you're dead.
Yeah.
That sounds awful, but...
No, but nobody should hit anybody.
Nobody should ever hit anybody.
No, I mean,
no. And
walk
even,
out of the room.
You know, even the angry emotions, you know, that's another thing that I saw with my grandchildren. Both of them are empathic, almost. I mean, to the point where, like, their great-grandmother, my grandchildren's great-grandmother off of Stevens, their dad's, his grandmother died. And my daughter brought, you know, the two kids up, and they were staying at the house of the grandmother, and she always sat in this one chair.
Yeah.
Okay, and my granddaughter, who's a year old, was looking at that chair. Nobody was sitting there. Was looking at the chair and started laughing and then waving.
Wow.
And it's like, and Stephen's grandmother absolutely, it was the only grandchildren, great-grandchildren she had, absolutely adored my grandson and my granddaughter.
Yeah.
Absolutely adored them. So to see that my granddaughter was waving and smiling, and then what was so neat was she took her first 5 steps there.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, but she was holding her arm up.
Like somebody was holding it?
Like somebody was holding her up. And the whole time when she came back, I thought, oh, she's going to be walking. She took maybe 1 step and then, you know, fell down. So it's really kind of neat that the great-grandmother was there.
That's cool.
Isn't that the neatest thing now?
That is.
Okay,
That is.
so, you know, these families out there try to suppress it, or you know, like a child will say, you know, blah, blah, blah. Kids don't think about it. They just say whatever it is they feel or react or whatever. So when you have the parents saying, oh, well, that's nice, and changes the subject, what they've just done is they've dampened the ability of that child to make it comfortable for them.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a very nice, the next time you see, please tell her how much I miss her. Which is a really neat, you know, kind of neat thing. It's not a woo-woo thing. It's a natural gift.
That's a natural gift.
Given to every single human being, not just mediums, but anyone who's empathic. And you'll notice that more and more people are their abilities are developing.
And some people do acknowledge that they are developing.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, great.
You know, but to have the balance, that again, we go back to how does a person know whether what they're picking up is really for them, or are they picking up on somebody else or whatever? So rather than when you react to something, okay, like the person that feels like they've got jealous bones or whatever, okay, it's like, before you react and jump all over that person, and they may be innocent, breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe. Just breathe. A friend told me that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That was a smart friend.
Breathe.
Just
breathe deep. Because when you're breathing deep, you're getting oxygen. Your body doesn't go into stress. There's the anxiety there begins to diffuse itself.
True.
And think, just, are you picking up really about that person? Or is this a fear?
Yeah.
Or are you picking up on somebody just happened to be walking by the building and just had a fight with his wife?
That's right.
Breathe.
Because you have to make that choice before you hurt a loved one.
Oh, yeah, and then you feel foolish. It's like, popping somebody because you're reacting too quickly, or you hit somebody, you hurt them.
So what's the moral of the story here?
Breathe.
Okay.
What's the moral of the story? That what you may be picking up, yes, it may be real.
Yeah.
Okay. But don't react. Breathe. Wait. Watch, observe.
Yeah, I
If you
agree
want,
with that.
if you feel that comfortable to ask the person, you know, are we all right? Mm-hmm. It may totally surprise. Why? Yes. Why would you ask that? Well, I'm seeing this and this and this. It may have nothing to do with anything that's going on, but I need to talk to you about it. I trust you enough to talk to you about it rather than keeping it stuck inside.
Right.
Because if you keep it stuck inside and you worry, if you put a strong thought with a stronger emotion, you're sending that out to be manifested by whoever you're closest with. That's the key. Strong thoughts with an emotional base is being picked up by the universal mind, who thinks that's what you want. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Boy, you're very smart. That's what I so like about you being co-host with me. You just are the smartest person. You understand me. You understand me totally.
I do understand you, but I was once told that I have walls up and I don't even know it, and they're glass. So I don't know the walls are up. But I kind of look at the whole territory before I answer anything.
Even with me?
I have to look at the whole territory. I have to look at the whole picture. Well, we have to go have lunch.
Oh, most definitely at my favorite restaurant. So, well, time is going by. And, of course, I'd like to say, hi, Rosemary. I miss you, Rosemary. I haven't seen you for a while. I hope all is well. I love you.
I love her, too.
Well, oh, that's right. You're her daughter.
That's okay.
Oh, that was nice. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Rosemary? She meant it straight from her heart.
Why does everybody make such a big deal out of when I say that?
Because Rosemary is the sweetest person you could possibly ever find.
I know. Close the show, Gracie.
Oh, I hope you have a happy week and an even happier year, because 2017 is the beginning of a new 9-year cycle. And so leave the past behind and create a new future of light, love, joy, and abundance. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.